Hello, my name is Leonard. I'm a writer, poet, photographer. I enjoy creating and new worlds, new imaginations. But right now, we're going to review books done by a publishing company, Lulu.com. Lulu.com is a great organization to get with because you don't have to have money up front to create your book. But you do have to format it right, and they do have templates you can work with. And plus, they have a knowledge-based system that is very, very helpful. For instance, I have my first book I ever published with Lulu was called Pathways into Darkness. Now, Pathways into the Darkness is 8 short horror stories, which, different kind of genre horrors that keep you on your toes and make you want to leave the light on at night. Now, I have gotten feedback from this book because this is one I've been selling since August of 2018. Now, I'm still new in getting these books published and getting them out into the public itself. Now, the books itself, this is a 6x9. The cover I did myself. This is one of my photography. Alright, and plus the name and everything else. And on the back side, I got my ISBN number. Now, with some of these books, an ISBN number, if you want to have it disputed to Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, you need an ISBN because it's good to expand further into other organizations. Now, Lulu.com is a great organization, but there are a lot of people with Amazon accounts and Barnes & Noble accounts. Now, one other thing that I created was poetry of love and loss. This was actually just something I just threw together and figured I have a bunch of poems laying around. Why not put them in a book itself and share? Because it's basically a bunch of poems about love and about lost. So there's some good positive energy in there, and sadly there's negative energy in there. With poetry, you never know what you're going to run into. Although it is very short, and it's also a 9x6. Now, I have mostly used 9x6 because it's a nice fit. And of course, my photography as well. This here was at Charleston Beach. Yeah, lovely little walkway just to get to the beach. But on the back side, another ISBN number because I have this disputed through other organizations like Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. Now, this here was just something fun I wanted to put together. My second book, of course. Now, I like to get into children's books. Now, I'm playing around with a lot of photography, and I love photography. I don't call myself an expert, but I love taking pictures of life itself. And one thing I created was this little children's educational book called Insects Play Hide and Seek 2, which I sell for all my photography. When I took a picture of this flower, actually, a bug was on top of it. I said, hey, this would be a perfect cover. Of course, you got the little spider and garden spider in the back. You find all kinds of life, excitement, just outside of your house that you can take pictures of and just bring them to the young minds of imagination. Now, what I did with this book here is I had the pages. See, when I formatted it, I had the pages colored to add content and character. Now, with my photography and pictures, and what I wrote down below, adds life to the pictures, adds life to the book. And plus, I dedicate this book, it's dedicated to Mother Earth with all her beauty and wonders. Yeah, because nature is awesome. It is awesome. And, of course, you might end up with some blank pages. So that's in your, I did that on purpose just so I can have this right here show the presentation of my book. So this here was actually a park I took a picture of, more of my photography. And children's books are so much fun. I plan on coming up with some more educational children's books with my photography. One about starting with garden bugs or the flowers that's all around us. Life itself, curiosity, and great wonders that you will see. Even thought about promoting, I'm all for rescuing animals at the pound or shelter or whichever convenience is there, because purebreds are wonderful dogs, wonderful animals, but there's also those mixed breed animals that are just as loving and just as wonderful. Now, my latest book that I have promoting right now is called Xenophobe Resurrection. Helped create this picture, and of course the backside with the ISBN. You sat there with your description telling you about the book. So I added a little insert of the book in there to draw you in, because this here is a sci-fi horror. It's actually based off a nightmare I had years ago. You never know where you get your ideas to write a book, and hence it created a foundation of writing a 9x6 book like this one to Lulu.com. And now Lulu.com has some great works and great, if you do the formatting right, that is tricky. I say, because you look at the books itself, it's good writing. You see with good on your eyes. It's you fix it the way you want to fix it with the page numbers. I got mine at the bottom. Plus I have splits, like when I go from one story into another story. That's within the story, like foreshadowing or something. Now, this is also a 9x6. But let me bring this one back to you. This here is not a 9x6, but it's an 8.5 by 8.5. It's more or less square. Now, the square book I thought about, it's not the, got a nice little ending on it, like these do. These are almost like a real book, but these here are like a fold book. So I thought about creating one like this. It's just a simple little children's book, to play around with. And believe me, it was a lot of fun creating this book. I enjoy it. Because once you get into formatting books, you'll be coming up with new ideas. But one great thing about Lulu.com is they also have ebooks. Now, your ebooks can go through so many different categories. Kindle, Barnes & Noble and everywhere else, Amazon, other formats. I mean, your ebook can go far, because when you do the EPUB, it will create your ebook for you and can distribute to other organizations, which you can make money off of that as well. That's one thing I love. Now, lastly, I want to show you something. See, I'm used to buying smaller books. I buy a lot of those books. Now, sadly, let me first start off with this. This little burger is also Xenophobe Resurrection. It's a great little book, more pages, because it compacts the book itself. Because one thing you got to keep in mind, it's not about the amount of pages in the book, it's the amount of words in your book. That is what you use to count with. Now, for me, for any book, 30,000 or more is a book. Now, if you want to go below 30,000, like what I did with my poem book, it's going to be a very small book. And plus, you don't need to price it up so high, but price it down where it's a reasonable price that people will buy your book. Now, if you go overextended with your price, you ain't going to get much sales. Now, with this book here, I did this on purpose, but sadly with Lulu, it don't redistribute to Amazon or Barnes & Noble. So there's really no much ISBN number. But with this kind of book itself anyway, you give people options on Lulu.com. Plus you can buy a whole bulk of these and sell them at other, say, eBay, or go to certain organizations, bookstores that you can lay these out and sell them as well at a good cheap price. Because this in here, this is actually, let's see, what was the price of that? Oh, this is actually $8.85, $8.85, and of course this in here is $9.99. Now I made them cheap on purpose because I want readers to read my books and tell me what they think about it. Because as I progress as a writer, feedback is a plus. And with my Pathways in the Darkness book, of course, it's $12.97. It's a much thicker book. It got 8 short stories in it, which is awesome. Great coloring, great, good on your eyes. It gives that cream coloring instead of bright white, which unfortunately, those little ones, they do have the bright white. But one thing about the little ones, these are compact, these are easy, you can sell them cheaper, and they're great to give people options. You can have this book, or an ebook. So with Lulu.com, you're actually getting your money's worth, because you're not actually buying the book itself. And Lulu.com helps create the book for you. It does a lot of the footwork there. But they do offer programs of self-promotion, editing, and stuff like that. Now, they do offer it, and it does cost, but that's up to you as the writer. For me, I'm doing a lot of self-publishing, self-promoting, like on Facebook ads and Twitter. I'm on both of them. So, there's many other ways that you can promote your book as well, but we'll talk about that later on. For now, with Lulu.com, it is a great organization to get your book started. If you're a beginning writer, it is good to get with. They are user-friendly. Just follow their guidelines. And if you have any problems with their guidelines, they got online help, and they got people you can call and talk to and help you with your book. So, as my shirt says here, Pathways in the Darkness. Then I'm also promoting shirts, but that's another subject for another day. But for right now, I recommend to new writers out there, get with Lulu.com. They are great to be with, and I have published many books with them so far, as you've seen. With these books here, they are awesome. They make them look professional, look great. They even offer to create your own cover. That you don't have to. But since I'm a photographer and I work with digital art, I like creating my own book covers. Especially you want to create a book cover that just jumps out at you. But until then, my name is Leonard Rich. I am a writer, photographer, poet. Not as good as a poet as my brother Chris Rich, but still, I consider these works of art something I passionately love to do. So, just let me know what you think. Talk down here below in the comments. And like I said, feedback, I love feedback. And let's have that conversation. Everyone have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.